of the greatest and the greatest and the greatest effect. Oh, I'm not seeing that reaction. Do I have all you students here? Like the vibes, the energy. So I want you to give it to me. Great. Okay, so we are going to do it again. Of the greatest effect. Great. Ever conscious effect. Ever conscious. Okay, I need you to give yourself a round of applause, and I'm super excited to be here today. It's such an amazing journey so far. And before we go into the business of today, I want us to appreciate the man that has put this together and the entire team in person of Ekundayo Michael Lulu Damilare. Please let us put our hands together for Damilare. Damilare, I must say a big well done to you. And I say a big well done to all the team members. You guys are doing amazing. And I tell you, the sky is just the beginning for you. And God has really helped you. So today, I believe that you've heard from so many great leaders. You've heard from so many amazing people over the course of this program. And so I'm just going to be fast with what I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to bore you with story. I'm not going to bore you with what you already know. Okay. So I'm just going to uh, tell you what you need to know as soon as possible. Okay. As you know that the essence of this program is for us to raise leaders in so many fields, in so many, career paths that you've chosen. And for you to be an effective leader, there is something that is very, very important, and that is time management. I believe, yes, you might have heard time management before, but I think there is a need for me to emphasize the importance of time management for you to be an effective leader in any of your chosen career. Now, we normally hear, oh, I'm busy. The truth is, everybody is busy. But can you ask yourself, what exactly are you busy with? Or what you're doing, is it productive? Can people really see the effect of what you're doing? So you need to ask yourself, as an effective leader, how am I managing my time? How am I using my time? These are what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And I want you to really sit back and take notes and take notes. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you right now. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. Please, just a moment. Okay, just a moment, please. Okay. All right. I believe that you can all see my screen right now. I believe you can all see my screen right now. Okay. So I have here that to be an effective leader in your chosen career or life, it requires you to manage your time effectively. And according to Henry Davis, say it is not enough to be busy. The question, just like I said the other time, is what exactly are you busy with? What exactly are you busy about? You know, can you tell people, oh, this is what I'm doing with my time? Because we are all product of how we use our time. That is the truth. Look at all the great leaders we keep talking about today. If they don't use their time effectively, we won't be talking about them today. So we're going to be looking at effective time management. And okay, please hold on. I want to. So now, what is time management? Effective time management has to do with taking control of the time you have, optimizing it for focus, productivity, and importantly for balance. The truth is, everything requires our attention. Everything wants our time. Your career wants your time. Your relationship wants your time. Your fellowship wants your time. So, how do you balance up as an undergraduate? The truth is, many of us, someone like me, I don't have the opportunity of what you're having right now. And that's why I don't want you to misuse this opportunity. I really want you to take, maximum use of this opportunity you're having today. So The world system operates 24 hours. That's just the beautiful gift that God has given everybody equally. There is something that God has given us equally, and that's the use of our time, the 24 hours. We all have it. Either you're rich, either you're poor, either you're middle man, you all have 24 hours. But the question is, how are you spending that 24 hours? And it's so amazing in our days now. We have so many things calling for our attention, and if care is not taken, we will just discover that the whole 24 hours has gone without we achieving anything meaningful. So time management is centered on building routine and habits, observing your body natural energy, observing when your energy is high and low. Okay, as an undergraduate, you have to understand your nature. I remember as an undergraduate, then when others are going to library, I also told myself, okay, let me go to the library. But can I shock you? For the 3 or 4 hours I spent in the library that time, I slept throughout the time. Like seriously, like sound sleep. So over time, and when I go back to my hostel, the usual saying, Iggy, where those hyping, and deep down in yourself, you just wasted that that precious 4 hours of your life, that precious 3 hours of my life. So I told myself, Mudupe, you are just playing, you are just deceiving yourself going to the library. Because I discovered about myself that when everywhere is quiet, that's the sleeping pills for me. And library is just too quiet for my liking. So what I do that works for me, and that's why we say when you want to manage your time very well, you need to know what works for you. So what I did that worked for me was, I know that okay, if I'm in an environment that there is little noise or maybe a soft music is being playing, I'm active. And the period that I read often is maybe early in the morning or late at night. But don't expect me to wake up in the middle of the night, say I want to read. I will sleep off. So I was able to understand myself. You have to understand your body. You have to understand your nature for you to be able to manage your time effectively. So you know, uh, I'm going to be running fast because of our time, because I really want us to maximize the time. All right. Now, even if you have a twins, the most important thing is that they both will have their different natural, and they will display different attributes. So this is to emphasize the fact that you are not everybody, and you're not the same person with your roommate or your neighbor. So don't compare yourself with your roommate. In fact, I have a friend, my very good friend. Damn, now I knows the person, but I'm not going to mention the name. My friend will not read when all of you are reading. Yeah, and he's damn good. My friend is very, very, very good. But you know what? When it's 2 days to the test or exam, that is when he will read, or he can actually ask for a tutorial that, okay, let everybody have a group discussion or a group tutorials together, maybe 2 days to the test or 2 days to the exam. And trust me, after that tutorial, it's like everything all of you have been reading for months. Those 2 days of revising together with him, everything is already here. And during test or exam, he will still pass more than all of us have been preparing. So he knew his body, he knew himself. So if you want to be comparing yourself with your roommate that plays around, maybe when test is around the corner, and you know yourself that you don't how will I put it? You don't assimilate fast, then you are only deceiving yourself. You should be able to understand your body, what really works for you, and you have a responsibility to observe how your body works. Okay, so for instance, I say if your personality is linked to that of a choleric or melancholy, I believe you all know this personality trait. The likely chances that you need to exhibit more commitment, unlike an individual who is sanguine. All right, so let's continue. So, what are the tips for effective time management? One of it is that you must set properly daily goals. You cannot overemphasize. A day that is not well planned is as good as being wasted. That is it. And if your days is being wasted, there is no how you can be leader. There is no how people can look up to you. Okay, so you have to set goals. You have to set daily goals. Okay, as time goes on, I'm still going to talk about what I want to say now. So, but then you have to understand where you are currently, what you're currently spending your time, and where you are currently losing. Okay, now what I'm saying here is, what are you currently spending your time on, and what are you currently losing that time on? We are in the season of technology, where we all have our social, we all have our mobile devices, that is, that is distracting a whole lot of us, and we are spending a huge time on it. According to statistical.com, in 2022, we have an active user of more than 2 billion. Is it 2 billion, or yeah, 2 billion active user every month on Facebook. I think 1.4 billion, 1.47 billion every month on Instagram, and we have over 2 billion as well on WhatsApp every month. So you have to ask yourself, where are you losing your time? What are you you have to take break at the right time, and then you have to stay away from multitasking. The truth of it is that, when exam is fast approaching, we all want to read all the courses that you've been accumulating. You want to read it 2 days, a week to the examination. Is not going to work. And that's why during examination we discover that so many people, they find themselves in the end center. But so many people, they'll be saying some gibberish, some strange words during examination. Why? It's because they want to multitask. They are putting their body under unnecessary pressure. So you must stay away from multitasking. Okay, but I'm not saying that you should be lazy, but you must be able to focus your attention on one thing, finish it. In fact, according to research, it is proven that what you put your attention on, you are 500 times more productive on it than when you want to multitask. And then you have to have a constructive routine and habit that can last you into the future. Okay, then we have in session time, we have out session time. The in session time refers to the period spent within the vicinity of the university. Now, the stepping stone of your career begin with what you do with your time during the school session. Sincerely, if I have this opportunity as an undergraduate, I will have grabbed it. There are so many amazing things that you can do with your time for you to be an effective leader. One of it is that you can join clubs that we really have to you. We have JCI, we have Rotary clubs. We have those amazing clubs that it will really, really speak for you in the future. Okay, so the stepping stone of your career, the stepping stone of you being an effective leader, begins with what you do with your time during the school session. For instance, do you spend your time partying? I remember during my 100 level days, there are so many parties for 100 for 100 level students, for freshers. And if care is not taken, so many people, they lost themselves, they lost their time, they lost their career. Why? Because they want to party, they want to enjoy themselves. Okay, so you need to understand, what time do you spend on partying? Are you committed to researching ideas? Look at Damilare. Assuming he has not been intentional with spending his time effectively, you wouldn't have been seated here listening to me right now. He wouldn't have been able to put all these things together. But because he was able to research on ideas, okay, how can he actually help give back to his society? And that's why White Top came into existence. So what are you doing on the internet? Internet is there. Instead of you solving the internet to while away your time, to just spend your time recklessly, why don't you use that time to research ideas on the internet, from textbook in the library? Why don't There are so many people that started their business off campus, where they was on campus rather, where they were still on campus, and they were doing amazing now. So in session is also a time period to observe and identify if there are any professional certification attached to your course. So I was speaking with a friend of mine yesterday. She is a chartered accountant, and she says she started her ICANN exam, when she was in 200 level. So I said, wow, I thought it's until you finish. So she said there were two categories. We have 80 years, is it 80 years or 80J? I think it's 80 years. And then we have ICAM. So she said when you started as an undergraduate, you're going to do the two, and you're going to have two certification. But when you started when you are done with your university, you are just going to start with the qualifying one, which is the ICANN, and you're going to have one certification. So she said she started early. So that means that, you know, are you an engineer? What are the professional certification that is in line with your course? So are you a medical doctor? What are the professional certification that is in line with it? Are you an accountant? What have you? As a nutrition graduate, there are so many professional certifications that I could have done, but I don't have idea. I don't have that understanding while I was still in school. But I don't want you to make that mistake. Okay, many of us we started finding our bearing after school. Which really takes a longer time. But now that you have this opportunity, you need to really utilize it. And then you need to take your time to learn from those who have gone ahead of you. It's important. I'm a product of learning. Those are the ways you can manage your time for you to be an effective leader. You need to learn from those who have gone ahead of you. There was a time I called Damilara. I said, Damilara, I need your help in my organization. I know you have a thriving organization, a thriving NGO. How are you doing it? I know White Top is doing amazing. I want to learn. I was not too big that, oh, damn, Larry is that small, but no, but I know he has what it takes for me to take my organization to the next level. So I humble myself enough for me to learn from him. So you need to take your time to learn from those who have gone ahead of you in your career, in your chosen career, or in your chosen business. Okay. Then in your off time session, have you identified a mentor or a model with respect to your career prospects? There is this guy, Emmanuel Undoka, on LinkedIn. He's still an undergraduate. And he find a model, he find a mentor. That's okay. His mentor is Tony Elumelu. He was dressing like Tony Elumelu, talking like Tony. Tony Elumelu, we always have this red tie with his suit, and that's how UBA staff dresses most often time when it's not on Friday. And this guy was so intentional as early as 200 level or maybe 100 level or so. And there was a time he just make I think a random post, and people started tagging Elumelu. Do you know what? Elumelu said, okay, you have become Elumelu boy. They paid for his trip, for his flight to come and meet with Elumelu. And today, Emmanuel Unduka is doing amazing on LinkedIn. This is amazing. He identify his mentor on time. That, oh, Elumelu is someone that I can actually mentor I could actually use for my as a model. So you need to identify a mentor, a model with respect to your career. There are so many amazing individuals, young individual on LinkedIn that I follow. Prosperity Olufemi is another amazing individual. We have there are plenty like that. All right. So have you learned how to build a very catchy CV as an undergraduate? There's this another young lady on LinkedIn. I've forgotten her name now. Have you learned how to build a catchy CV that can almost guarantee your dream job? As an undergraduate, you can actually land your dream job. Yeah. So it depends on how you are able to manage your off session time. Okay. So what are you most skilled at? I know that I'm very skilled at speaking, and I ensure that I upgraded myself. I surrounded myself with people that can help me in my tenses, help me in my pronunciation and all. So what are you most skilled at? This can differentiate you from what is being taught in the four walls of the university. The truth is, in Nigeria of today, it's not only about your certificate. In fact, I remembered one of the job that I got then in Ilorin, in one of these international school, one of the best school in Ilorin, Romix International School. For many of you that knows Ilorin very, very well, do you know that out of 6 of us that apply for that role, what makes the white man that interviewed me during the final interview stage, the white man that interviewed me what thrilled him about my CV was that I said I have volunteered for Prico Academy. Prico Academy is being owned by Fashion Otidamnola. Is an amazing person that you can follow, and you're going to learn a whole lot. Those are the people that mentored me. Yeah. Okay, so I wrote in my CV that I have volunteered with Prico Academy to train people virtually how to make peanut butter. And that's what fascinating that was what excited that white boy. I said, oh, really? You were able to teach a community how to make peanut butter virtually. And I say, yeah, that you to employ that enables the community to be able to utilize what they have, and then it builds boost their economy. I just packaged it, and that was what landed me that job. Why? Because I was able to I was able to build my skill. I was able to I'm still going to talk more on volunteer. I was able to volunteer. Many of you, you just have a triangle life as an undergraduate, from your room to your classroom to the fellowship. It's just a triangular. No, you need to be able to develop yourself from what is being taught in the four walls of the university. You need to have a hands-on experience. You need to either maybe paid internship or an unpaid internship in reputable organization that will really help you. Then you need to ask yourself this question: how far do you want to go? Have you identified the skill needed or the importance of professional certification to your course? You need to really, really be true to yourself and ask yourself this question. In conclusion, if you must succeed in life, you have to make sure that you have no choice in the matter. When you cut off all the exits that can appear in form of excuses, you draw out all your inner powers and achieve the unthinkable. Then there is nothing like I do not have enough time. Just like I said, everybody is given the equal chances of this 24 hour. The problem is you're not maximizing it well. Yeah. Then you have to develop your mind daily, make use of your imagination, because your mind is your most powerful tool. Mentors are very important. I cannot overemphasize the importance of mentors. I'm still going to share a little story of myself as I round up my session. Okay, how mentors have helped me and how you too can leverage on that for you to be an effective leader and for you to be successful in your chosen career. So mentors are very important. Look out for one or two with respect to your career. Don't be too proud to humble yourself to learn. Yeah, so look for a mentor. It can be someone in another department who is in maybe in his or her penultimate year or maybe final year. You just have to look for someone that can actually mentor you. All right, so I'm going to, as I round up my session, I'm going to share a story of myself. So I grew up in a village, and in a village of Erosion. So I do tell people anytime I have opportunity to talk that I'm a typical local girl that has these um these local intonation when I speak. Then I remember during my undergraduate days that majority of times my friend do make jest of me that Mutupe, that is not the proper way for you to say it. They will joke about it. Sometimes they will make jest of me. But I told myself, if my friend can speak good English, if my friend can do this, I can do it. I was humble enough for me to learn. I work with the best. Yeah, I work with the best in my department. Then I have someone like Fashion Otidam Lola that was mentoring me. Then he told me, okay, get a dictionary that you will be able to hear what you type after the dictionary I've tell you the meaning. So I got a dictionary. I will play the search word on the dictionary, and the dictionary will pronounce it for me. Then I will rehearse after the dictionary. So that was how I was able to build myself. And over time, when I finished, then I was just doing some petty trade as an undergraduate. But because of consistency, because before you can be, it's not about your background. That's just the truth. My background is so not good, not palatable. But it's not about your background. Your background doesn't mean your back should be at the ground. Yeah, it's just a leverage for you to use it as a climbing, as a stepping stone to where you should be, to where God is taking you to. Okay, so I after the university we went to service, and after the service I sat down. I'm like, there is more to my life than just being a nutrition graduate. Okay, so what can I do? I began to research. Then during that period was when Aregbesola was governor of Osun State, and I realized that so many people were affected as a result of the fact that they cut their salary into two. So for you to be an effective leader, you must also look for a problem that you can solve. So I look at it that, so I look within my environment that people could not even attend functions as they want to. Why? Because they don't have what it takes to buy, clothes, because the purchasing power is not there. The governor is not paying salary. So I come up with this idea that, okay, what if we revamp your used clothes into a new design with tie-dye? And that was how I went to Abeokuta to learn the art of tie-dye making. After that, I went to Naked Art Gallery to further sharpening my skill in tie and dye. And before you know it, then that was 2018. I was just doing it as, okay, just for the fun of it. And before you know it, an opportunity came for me to apply for Tony Elumelu in 2019. That was barely few months into me learning Adure. And meanwhile, after my service year in 2015, I told myself that I want to give birth to the community. So I started with where I served. I taught them skills, I invited people, and after that I started going into community. We teach them skills, and we do free medical checkup and all. So I've been doing that. So in 2019, when Tony Elumelu opportunity came for businesses, I put in my business as an Nigeria maker. I put in what we've been able to do for communities, and out of over 200,000 applicants, I emerged as one of the winners. They only selected 3,000 plus. You could imagine the magic, the you could imagine them the gap, and that was how I started. I was selected. And not only that, I said that then my writing skill, my far back in 2008, when I was an undergraduate, my writing skill, my speaking skill was nothing to write home about. But because of the fact that I was humble enough to learn from people, they teach me on how to write content writing and all like that. And I start putting it up on my I was more intentional with my social media handle. I make sure that my name is not hard. When you want to write Adiola, you put hard. Ola. No, the word has gone far, beyond that. And even now, when you want to apply for some, international opportunity, they will even some ask you to put your social media handle. They want to know you through your social media handle. And that's why you need to really revamp your social media area. So I started being intentional with my social media space. And in 2020, an opportunity came during the corona period. An opportunity came for writers all over the world through youth lead writing competition. And I put in, and my my writing was the only one that was picked all in Nigeria, all over Nigeria. One person, the first came from Ghana, I was the second all over. And I was excited. And with that, I started building myself, started attending seminar, started being intentional. And that was what helped me to be where I am today. And you too can do much more than me. In fact, you will do much more than me, because there's so many potential that is being locked up in you. But the question is, how are you managing your time? The question is, what can you see about yourself? The question is, have you given up on yourself, or you still have so much hope? Many people, oh, there is nothing in Nigeria, but what can you make out of Nigeria that will make your name to be registered in the heart of people? I don't tell people, oh, I've not come. No, I'm not there yet, because I'm not going to relent. I'm still going. I'm still going until my name is registered. When you mention the name big girls, or you mentioned the name Ibukun Awoshika, like people know those names. And I say, until the least is until I reach the level these people have reached. Yeah. And that is a lot of work. So I'm putting it up to you. my dear ladies and gentlemen, that for you to be an effective leader, you need to manage yourself properly. You need to give yourself to mentorship. You need to be intentional about your life. You need to be intentional about what you're doing. You need to look at the kind of people that you surround yourself with, because you cannot be you cannot be better off than the set of people that you associate yourself with. And that's why this popular proverb say, when you walk with the dog, then definitely you're going to eat shit, you're going to eat dog, because that is what dogs eat. Okay, so I'm going to tell you to do something before I round up my session today. It's been an amazing journey with you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience. Now, I want you to put your hand on your chest and tell yourself, I, Modukwelua, I am made for more. Modukwelua, I am going places. Modukwelua, I am going global. I, Modukwelua, I am limitless. I am unstoppable. I will reach that height that God has destined for me, and so shall it be. Amen. Now, before I say bye bye to you, there are so many things that we can do for White Up to encourage our dear organizer in person of Oluwadamilare. Okay, so White Up is in virtually all the social media, is on Instagram, is on Facebook, is on Twitter. So please do well to follow this. That's part of what we say. Be intentional with the people you follow on your social media. Do well to follow, do well to engage when they post anything, do well to volunteer with this organization. As you're doing that, you are on your way to becoming an effective leader. Thank you very much for your time. I love you all. Cheers.